Yeah. So now we will hitchhike down the valley. Before we'll go and have a coffee, ice cream, warm coffee, and then go to the toilet, get some toilet paper, then get some newspaper, or we need to buy some cushion. I don't want to sleep on a flat something. I want to have my head up so that I'm not creating any additional wrinkles during sleep. So maybe for 40 Swiss francs I'm gonna buy a cushion. And yeah, people have bought my book, The God's Fool. If you translate that, it becomes Narr Gottes. That one has been bought twice, and since it is expensive, yeah, it has been bought twice and then once. So I have sold 3 and I get 290 Swiss francs, which is a lot. It's like 300 euro. So why is that? Because every book costs such a lot that when someone buys it, I really get like a lot of money. It's not that I'm selling my books for nothing. So whenever someone buys it, for me it will be like, you know, not really like getting a few Swiss francs. No, I get hundreds, like 100 Swiss francs a book, then it is. Or like 90 Swiss francs, because 3 I have sold. Yeah. So that must be the margin, as they call it, what you get out of it. And that's how I calculated the price of the book, like all the books. I have maybe 4 out or 5. 13 Basische Küsse, Freakwechsel, Kristall and Narr Gottes. So 5 books that I have been publishing, and now all of them are expensive. The one containing like 18 pages, it's a 18 pages book. That one also costs like 100 Swiss francs. So yeah, I haven't been doing anything at home. I just have been waiting for the backpack to get dry, you could say. I haven't been doing anything. Like, I watched a lot of stuff. Like yesterday when I was smoked, I walked uphill and I was already smoked. So the next day I prepared myself a smoke. So I smoked, and so I was again sunken in, and I was like, I went onto black wrapping paper. Then I found a place in Nepal, like I found a eBay site selling wrapping paper, and they seem to sell black as well. I haven't seen any black, but it came up, and otherwise there were just pictures, no one really selling it. So then I went on to Nepal, and I was on Google then, and so I found out about another video that I watched on how that the big cruise lines are destroying the little islands and the coastal regions around the Mediterranean Sea. That there is like Corsica in the south, which is a nature preservatory region. So there you will find all sorts of nice fish in the water in the south of Corsica. So okay, I remember that one. Then I went to the Caribbean and I found a place where they say that a lot of fish have returned as well. And then it was near Belize and Nicaragua and all these countries. So I went like, oh yeah, once I will have to start any sort of journey in the Caribbean, it will be that little horn right down there. Oh yeah, I saw photos. I was on Twitter and I was on travel photos, and that one looked so nice. It really was rocky beach and sand as well. So once you had climbed the rocks, there were all the nice sand beaches, but no people. So it's not the same like on the Mediterranean Sea, where you have like lots of regions that are all built to get you depressed. Like there is a lot of houses built and all that, and then hotels, and the sea is like you share it with tons of people. So I found out then Montenegro has some region, very small, adjacent to the Mediterranean Sea, and there is a bay. So the greater one of those now becomes like a second Monaco. Kind of people want to go there because the big ships aren't allowed, but otherwise they have real good like security. You don't see beggars in when you put your ship there, and there is like no taxes for the fuel or something like this, and already some posh shops, Chanel and stuff. So that's Montenegro, former Yugoslavia. But otherwise, yeah, that one was like checking out the Mediterranean Sea and getting to know the world, the coasts of the world. Because when you have a small boat, I learned from those fishing the Mediterranean Sea, you are near the coast, and when you have a bigger one, you can go out more into the open because of the waves, and also if you want to have the bigger catch. So I learned I will be able to go across the Atlantic just once, maybe accompanying someone. But if I'm ever gonna be on that Caribbean boat built from wood only, and I will then be going along the coastlines. You know, a small boat cannot handle the big waves. Like between Europe, the mainland, and Great Britain, there is a UFO, and I saw a documentary. So they were like in heavy waves, and in these waves only a real big boat survives. So even there, in this very short like passage, you need to have a good big boat, otherwise you don't make it. Or you need to have good weather at all times, but that you don't know. All of a sudden things may change, so you need to be equipped for all circumstances. So when I think about being on a boat, I want to be like changing the boat a lot. It would be a good boat for going all alongside the coasts, like down to Marseille, all around the Mediterranean Sea, along the coast, and then in Morocco, down Africa, and then cross over. Then the winds change. For the lower part of Africa, you need to either change to Latin America, or to have a big boat then to cross over. I mean, or to continue Yeah, well, the winds, as I said, they change. So you cannot really go downward to South Africa. You would have to kind of always fight against the wind. But yeah, I'm not such a good sailing person. You can sail against the wind. It's just harder, of course. That's what sailing boats are rigged for. You have wind that's nearly coming from the front and you can sail against it. Yeah. So the lower part of Africa I would have to do like this. So yeah. Once right there in the middle there would be the Nigeria and Ivory Coast and all that, which I'm not interested in. You know, I'm not into Africans, but the South African thing I want to see, but not really sail around this Cape Horn, which is so dangerous. So yeah. So because of black wrapping paper, I ended up in Nepal, and once I'm on a map, I always go checking out travel destinations, and now it's in especially the coastlines. And so yeah, I was on Twitter, just hashtag travel, whatever I see there, and when it looks good. Like when it was Canada, I went like, oh yeah, but rocky, you know, mountains and snow and rivers and stuff. That's what I got around here. I don't need to go somewhere where I have the same but enlarged. In Canada you have the woods just like here, but vaster areas, and the trees are bigger. They don't get timbered that much. And yeah. Also there is lakes and stuff and beers. We don't have beers around here. There used to be, but now with all, you know, it's a small area, Switzerland. Now with all the roads cutting through the nature and all of that. The beers, they have disappeared. They are like in Italy, down there. They say sometimes, yeah, some what has been crossing over. Or is that the wolf? Well, either. There is a bigger area of wood down towards Italy. So, yeah. And also, because of that book of this white Maasai, I found out she learned Italian and now is living down there. It's a nicer area to live at. Switzerland is mostly like cold, but down there, even through winter, it might be 15 degrees Celsius. So what you get is more sun, happier people. So I was thinking about doing the same, maybe in 2 years. I have always planned going to live in the French part or in the Italian part. So when I was looking for a house 2 years ago, I started looking like in the French part, like, you know, also Valais, which is very close to the French part, just to be somewhere else and to have somewhat a change in mentality as well, not just the location. So yeah, but then I didn't find anything, like it was too conservative, the surrounding not really being nature-like. So I decided to not go there and sort of stay for me at that bad place and wait for another chance. So I did. And that's how I gained this place up here, which is a real good place. Like, during winter I don't see anybody, no one around at all. During summer we get the heat, but it's not the same like in Zurich.